What's up guys, FlamingVictini here, and I'm back for another Smogon Tour series. This time we've got Ben versus Soulwind. Starting off, Ben leads off with this Mew, burns Soulwind's Mew, Synchronize ends up burning Bengay's Mew as well, so both of them get burned right off from the start. I think here, I'm not really sure what they want to do, because Mew versus Mew is sort of a stalemate, but Soulwind decides he wants to switch to his Rotom, as Ben decides he's going to go for the taunt. I think we see that Ben's Mew is faster due to the sand, so that may be why Ben chose to stay in. Soulwind predicts that, goes to his Rotom and Volt switches out of it. He takes the Wisp on the Rotom and the Mew, but in exchange he gets Ben's Mew very, very weakened down to 50% health, and his Kyurem's in. So this is looking dangerous for Bengay, and he just sacks off his Mew to the Kyurem. The Kyurem shows that maybe it's choice banded, because it didn't take any life or recoil. We see that Keldeo comes in, tries to make a very hard predict. Kyurem lived Secret Sword anyway, so I'm not really sure why he'd Hydro Pump right there, and Kyurem just takes out the Keldeo, so this is already looking really, really bad for Bengay. I really disagree with that Keldeo play. It did not really seem that good. Kyurem is quite bulky, so if there's Scarf Keldeo, which it looks to be on Bengay's team, Secret Sword is not going to take out Kyurem, and you're just going to lose your Keldeo to that Kyurem's Fusion Bolt. And so Hydro Pumping there is just not a safe play at all. I'm not really sure what he was trying to expect there, maybe trying to catch the Mew. But even if he caught the Mew, it would put him in a bad position afterwards, because then Kyurem could come back in, Rotom could come in. So I really dislike the play of even going Keldeo. I think he should have gone Guard Trump or something like that. He does choose to go Guard Trump now. I'm not really sure if he realizes that Soulwind's Kyurem looks to be choice. Maybe he thinks that's not choice and doesn't want to risk it. So, I mean, I think that the rocks are on the T-Tar, and I think this Guard Trump is an SD set. So we could see just Swords Dance right here. He does just Dual Chop though. Actually, this might be Scarf Chomp and non-Scarf Keldeo, but yeah, so he does just Dual Chop. Rotom dodges it, which is nice for Soulwind, because he can get off a burn on the Moonless and stay kind of healthy with his Rotom. And he's just gonna Volt out right here. He could probably just gonna go to Mew so that he doesn't let anything else get spored, but I could see him going to Kyurem, because if it's CB Kyurem, it's likely packing the Sleep Talk. And if it's Sleep Talk Kyurem, it's probably gonna nab another kill just by flipping Sleep Talk anyway. So I think this game is already looking really, really nice for Soulwind. Ben does predict Soulwind to expect the Spore and goes for the Sludge Bomb. Doesn't do that much to Mew, but it's going to probably try to push the Mew to soft boiled. But even now already, it's looking like Soulwind's Mew kind of just beats Ben's team. Like, it can roost on the T-Tar and then just wisp it. T-Tar has to be Lumberry to really win this one-on-one encounter, and Soulwind could just switch out, because it's unlikely for someone to go for Pursuit on a Mew with the slower T-Tar. So if Soulwind wants to not risk Lumberry or something like that, then he can switch, but he's probably going to have to risk it at some point anyway, unless he manages to catch the T-Tar on the switch with a Wisp. I guess it's also risking a miss if the T-Tar is not even Lum. He does actually miss right there. Ben does actually go for the Pursuit. I think Pursuit's actually a pretty decent play if you're trying to catch the Mew being overly safe or something like that. Now right here, if Soulwind wishes another Wisp, that could be bad, but yeah, he just gets the Wisp off, the Crunch comes out, he does get a Defense Drop, so that's going to be good for Bengay, but this is still looking to be Soulwind's game, because Soulwind's already just so far ahead, and he doesn't need this Mew to win. I don't think he really needs it. I mean, no, I mean, even SD Excadrill is just going to give Skarmory a really hard time. Seeing that it's on Soulwind's team with T-Tar, it's probably like SD Sand Force as a really strong breaker. We do see that the Mew roosted on a Pursuit. I'm not really sure why Ben didn't choose to Crunch right there, but rocks come up. Does he Fire Blast? No, he just crunches right here. So he gets a crit on the drill and a defense drop. Gonna do a little extra damage, but it's not gonna be too big. Oh, it's actually Lefty's drill. So in that case, the drill is probably did it show Mold Breaker? It is Mold Breaker, so it's probably EQ, Toxic, Protect, Spin in this case. And I think Soulwind maybe has... I think Bengay might be able to win with Skarmory if he's able to remove the Rotom and the Kyurem. I mean, the Mew is also healthy again too, right? Yeah, the Mew is healthy again, so it's probably very unlikely, but he has to at least Brave Bird here on the drill. Nope, he just sets up a spike, so he's just going to give the drill more recovery. Skarmory should win this encounter 1v1 if it is carrying Brave Bird, but we see it doesn't even have lefties or helmets, so it's probably Shed Shell, and that just tends to be a really poor item in Skarmory. It's just, lefties are really, really good, especially when you're like trying to take on stuff like Tornadus or something of the sorts. Having that lefties recovery is really nice, and Helmet is really great, especially for Excadrill, but we do see Ben goes for the Outrage right there. His Garchomp is actually looking a little bit dangerous, not gonna lie, but Mew hits the Ice Beam on the Chomp, and now it's gone, so yeah, this is looking definitely to be Soulwind's game. At this point, Kyurem probably just cleans up the rest of the team. So yeah, that was a nice play by Soulwind to go Chomp, because he knows that only Outrage will kill him, and he's very happy to take that trade. A crit might have been able to save Bengay the game, but he doesn't get that, so looks like this Mew is just going to beat this T-Tar 1v1. If the T-Tar did crunch on a Wisp Miss, that would have been really, really nice for Ben, but he pursued it. I mean, I can understand the play, but I feel like when you're that far behind, you really got to make perfect reads and get the right luck. And he just didn't get any of those. And in the beginning, he just let himself fall too far behind, having to sack the Mew and then sacking the Keldeo right afterwards was just really bad. He definitely should have pushed Soulwind's team a lot more with that Garchomp, because the Garchomp was really dangerous. It got the burn on the Mew. He got the burn on the Mew and the Rotom right away, and that means constant chip damage with the sand. And after that, Soulwind's Garchomp answers are very limited. It kind of relies on Garchomp being choiced almost, because he can take certain hits he can take ground hits or dragon hits, but not both with any one mon unless it's like a really healthy Mew. So yeah, this was a dominating win for Soulwind in Black and White. I mean, kind of to be expected. Bengay hasn't really been the strongest player in Black and White. He's been dominating in Oras and Sun and Moon, so he's definitely not out of this series. If anything, now is probably the biggest challenge for Soulwind. He needs to take an SM or an Oras game, and Soulwind is no slouch either. It's not like his only expertise is in Black and White, so this is definitely going to be an exciting series, and it'll be interesting to see if Bengay wins another set of Oras and SM basically on matchup and solid play, or if Soulwind is able to challenge him significantly. Anyway, I'll be back with the next game. Alright, they were on to the next game. They were playing SM, and of course my favorite Bengay is bringing some stall, but he does not stick to standard. This time he's got Togekiss and Celesteela, when normally you would see Skarmory and Clefable in the Togekiss and Celesteela spots. So it's interesting to see what he's trying to go for there. I'm not completely sure what the goal of Bengay's team is, and he definitely could have some different sets on the other mons. Soulwind, on the other hand, seems to be just using a Zapdos sort of team. He's probably got Mega Slowbro there to handle the Zygarde. Possibly 3 attacks offensive Zapdos, maybe defensive with Defog. The Heatran could be sub-Tran because he does have Lando as a potential rocker, and Lando doesn't really like to run anything else other than offensive. It could be, though, like sub-SD Landorus if he's trying to prepare for stall. Could also be Trick Scarf Latios with a Roost. That might be good for him. But if it's just Trick, it might not be enough to really help him break the stall. The Heatran, it kind of depends. If Soulwind is using Bengay's Heatran spread for sub-Tran, assuming it's substitute, Foul Play actually has a decent chance to break the subs, and if not, Ben can always just go Chansey and spam Seismic Toss, and to really punish that, Soulwind needs some... Actually, I don't even know if Tran can... I guess it can Toxic the Chansey, so what Bengay has to do if he wants to go Chansey on Tran is Seismic Toss as much as he can, get as much damage on a Tran as he can. If Soulwind has a Helmet Lando to finish off the Chansey, that saves him some health on the Heatran, but Bengay just leads with the standard Sableye, and Soulwind leads with a Moongus. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this Moongus lead is. He Sludge Bombs fishing for poisons on the Sableye. Sableye just burns the Moongus, probably gonna click a knockoff right now. It might help Bengay to be careful with what he's Will-O-Wisping, because if he burns that Zapdos, it could lead to some annoying PP stall, whereas Toxicking the Zapdos makes it a lot harder for Soulwind to stall PP with it, especially when it comes to defogging away Bengay's rocks from Chansey, so that could end up being important. I think the key to this game is really how Soulwind plays his Landers, if it's an offensive Z moveset, and how he plays his Heatran, depending on the set. But it's quite possible that if Soulwind is not running sets that are designed to improve the stall matchup, then he could be in some real trouble. Now, as for the role of Celesteela and Togekiss, Celesteela, I guess, is kind of going to be Bengay's Landorus answer instead of Skarmory, whereas Togekiss, I don't know, I guess he can answer to the Latios if he doesn't want Chansey to get tricked or something of the sorts. But otherwise, I'm not really sure. He does just Seismic Toss right here, gets damage on the Latios. I could very well see him switch out to Togekiss right here. Doesn't want to risk a trick or something of the sorts like that. It definitely does look like it could be Scarf Latios on Soulwind's team. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see Bengay staying in right here. He does go to Toxapex as Latios just Draco Meteors. Looking at the damage, I mean, it's especially defensive Toxapex, so I do think that's probably not boosted. Sorry, it tends to be physically defensive Toxapex on stall. So I can very well see that being just a Scarf Latios, yeah, non-boosted. Amoonguss comes in on the Pex. Pex just Scalds. I think Bengay maybe could have just recovered to keep his Toxapex as healthy as possible. I mean, in this case, he's only going to lose like 7% health from what he would be at after recover because of Regenerator, but it's not really too big of an important thing. I could just see Bengay just go back to the Chansey. He does indeed go back to the Chansey, and the Amoonguss switches back out to the Latios. Okay, so Soulwind's maybe trying to make progress with the Latios. He did Draco expecting Ben to go to Sableye. Maybe that's what he was fearing. Ben was going to Sableye, that's why he didn't want to Psyshock or Trick. Ben just goes to Togekiss this time as a Latios Psyshocks. That's not going to be a 2-hit KO. If he gets a critical hit though, actually even if he gets a critical hit that won't KO, so... But Soulwind uses this as an opportunity to bring in this Heatran. Okay, so... Assuming this is a mono-attacking Togekiss, the Heatran is definitely not scared of it, at least not right away. Togekiss is faster. Okay, he switches out. He doesn't look sub or anything, and Togekiss just air slashes. Lando shows lefties. Oh, this could be really troublesome for Soulwind. Because if it's lefties, I mean, why would it be lefties? He has a Slowbro on this team. He shouldn't be worried about Zygarde. And lefties Lando is mostly about sticking around for stuff like Zygarde. We do see Zapdos come in to scare out the Togekiss. Latios comes back in on the Chansey. I'm not really sure what progress Soulwind is making. Maybe he's trying to just fish for some crits and stuff. He does Trick as Ban brings in the Sableye on the Trick. So yeah. Ben catches him on that, and he basically gets a free knockoff right here. I think, has the Amoonguss already been knocked off? Might have been. Yeah, so in that case he does, he goes to Dugtrio. What is he trying to catch with the Dugtrio? I'm not really sure. He does just switch out to Chansey, okay, as the Amoonguss just spores. In this case, probably gonna see Ben just go to a Sableye. And Soulwind probably maybe just Sludge Bombing to predict that. As he just switches out to Landorus, okay. So Landorus comes in. Okay, Lando does show the substitute right here. It did come in on the Sableye, so that's probably the reason why it did come in. It is Smackdown. Okay, so it is a Lando that can threaten Bengay's team, so this is gonna be important for Soulwind. He does just... Oh, he stays... He HP Ices and it's gone! Oh my god! I think Bengay just won the game right there. Holy crap. Yeah, that was big. I guess that is one reason to use Celesteela. HP Ice the Lando. So maybe it's not even Heavy Slam. Flamethrower HP Ice. maybe just standard leaf seed tech, or maybe some more stall-oriented recovery options, but like rest or something if it gets rest. I don't know if it does, but that HP ice was huge because that Lando was looking like Soulwind's way out of the stall matchup. I'm not really sure. It had to be Earthquake did 81 to Celesteela. I need to count this. Celesteela versus Landorus. Oh my god, my computer's being very laggy. Let's see. It's losing its flying type. Earthquake, oh, that has to be physically defensive Celesteela or something like that. Or it's just not offensive enough of a Landorus, and if it's not offensive enough of a Landorus, then Sableye is going to beat it anyway. Heatran comes in. Only reason to bring in Tran, honestly, in this case is if you're a substitute. Because otherwise you're just going to lose it to Dugtrio after killing the Celesteela. So I could see Ben trying to be proactive against substitute, go straight to Chansey. Yeah, oh, he actually just goes to Togekiss, and it's Lava Plume Tran. Okay, yeah, so... Is Soulwind just giving up this Heatran? Maybe it's Shed Shell, but that'd be really bad. The rocks go up, okay. This might be Defog Togekiss. Yeah, it is Defog Togekiss, okay. So, Soulwind's just gonna keep the rocks up. Yeah, if I were him, I would keep the rocks up too. Ben has to stall out 32 Stealth Rock PPs. Now at this point he can go Sableye though, if he wants to do that, but here slashes to find out the Heatran's item, and there is a leftovers. Okay, so no Shed Shell shenanigans or something like that. Togekiss is just going to roost up on the Heatran and click Defog. Someone's probably just going to spam rocks. Oh, there's the Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot, interesting. So that's how Bengay plans to beat this thing 1v1. Okay. So he does just Defog on this Tran. Tran just sets up rocks again. Interesting. They're just kind of just going at it. Ben definitely wants these rocks off. Soulwind definitely wants these rocks up. Soulwind Lava Plumes, knowing it'll push the Togekiss to roost anyway. Togekiss roost, rocks back up. Nope. He just Lava Plumes again. So now the Togekiss just keeps clicking Air Slash. Oh, he just Nasty Plumes. Okay, he wants to boost up as much as he can. Understandable. He needs to be careful about Defog PP though. Sorry about that, guys, got interrupted. They basically did some dancing around with the whole Rocks Defog thing, and Bengay finally brought in Sableye on the Heatran using Stealth Rocks, got them up. Probably gonna knock off his Heatran's lefties now, and yeah, this thing's basically looking like a GG for Soulwind. I'm not really sure why people bring such stall-weak teams. I mean, you can't rely on one Mon to break stall. You can't rely on just smack-down Lando to break the stall. He sacks the Celesteela to the Heatran, brings in Doug, takes it out. Latios with the Black Sludge is in. This thing came in earlier, got tricked. Ben's just gonna substitute. This thing defogs to get rid of the hazards, but this Doug is in. I mean, this Doug's probably not gonna do much against the Toxics. Oh, he throws up rocks, interesting. So he's gonna keep those rocks up. And he misses the Toxic on the Slowbro. If he hit that Toxic, this Slowbro would be in some trouble, but he should be fine. Slowbro goes for the Scald. Yeah, it's probably just a 3 attack Slowbro. The Toxapex is tricked, so some sort of setup thing could get annoying for it, but it is Triss Scarf, so it can probably like go for a fast haze. Even if that Slowbro is Calm Mind and somehow like a mini Toxic is just not gonna win. Yeah, Toxapex comes in on the Nimbus to eat that Sludge Bomb. Maybe gonna go dance around with Chansey and the Sableye a little bit. He does indeed go Chansey, you can just Seismic Toss right here without much worries. And yeah, Soulwind's just lost. He's really no real way to win at this point. Even if the Zapdos gets randomly burned or something, like he probably just got Toxic right now, yup. And because he said GG, so that's probably the game. He forfeits, and yep, that is indeed the game. So yep, that's the SM game. Kind of disappointing. Soulwind kind of just lost on matchup, and then literally brought stall again. Literally brought stall again. I mean, granted, it's not always the same stall, but like, it's kind of frustrating to see this such poor team selection. Kind of annoyed that Soulwind stalled me, because I would have beaten him if he used a regular team. whatever. Anyway, we'll be back with the we'll be back with the Oras game shortly. Alright guys, I'm back for the Oras game. Soulwind is going to be using a team that was made by Gingy and TDK used against Trosco in SPL. It is a Sword Stance Baton Pass Gliscor team with Magnezone Metagross and I think Scarf Chomp. Bengay is going to be using a Suicune Mew Zapdos team with a Dugtrio as well. Got all those Crismons and a Weavile and a Scizor for some offensive presence. The Sword Stance Gliscor pass to Metagross does look scary. You definitely don't want to be hit +4, +6. Definitely not. And nothing on Ben's team really immediately pressures that Gliscor. I mean, I'm sure if he's got some way to beat it, I doubt he'd use it to, like, Weavile. But, like, Weavile is not a long-term answer to Scizor. To Gliscor. And Suicune might be able to handle it, but it really depends on the set. Or maybe the Zapdos, but the thing is, I feel like Gliscor is going to be able to Baton Pass a Sword Stance boost to Metagross at some point, and Metagross is pretty fat, and so he can't rely on Dugtrio to just simply take out Metagross. And for that, he needs to preserve his Sash. I think he can preserve his Sash. It does look like, I think it's Rock's Fable, so Mew plus Zapdos should be able to beat that. The only thing that would be able to beat both of those, I think, would be Calm Mind Rock's Clefable, assuming the Mew doesn't have Taunt. We see the Zapdos take the Spore right here as it U-turns on the Amogus. Soulwind does need to be careful about his Magnezone getting trapped by Dugtrio, because if his Magnezone gets trapped by Dugtrio, then Ben at least has his Scizor sticking around. And if the Scizor can like get some U-turn for Bullet Punch chip on the Metagross, he might put it in range for Dugtrio's EQ. I think the Metagross does have Bullet Punch. I think it's Thunder Punch, Bullet Punch, Meteor Mash, and then I don't remember the last move. Maybe Ice Punch. But we do see the Mew come in as the Gliscor and getting its Orb activation. Nothing that happened that comes in on the Gliscor. I guess this plan versus Gliscor is get the slow U-turn off into Weavile. That's generally a pretty decent way to beat with Gliscor. We see that's a bold Clefable that eats up that Bullet Punch like absolutely nothing. And yeah, Soulwind definitely is not being rash with the Magnezone that they can't afford that really. We're probably gonna see Ben U-turn into Mew and Defog, but I'm not completely sure. He definitely has some sort of pressure stall going. He likes to have, oh, it's Defog Scizor. Okay, interesting. And it seems like he's almost willing to. Oh, actually, I don't necessarily know if I agree with this play from Soulwind. I really don't agree with this play from Soulwind, because this Weavile is coming in and he doesn't have a good switch into it. Yeah, I really don't like that play from Soulwind. I'm confused why he didn't just soft-boiled up with his Clefable, or why he went to Gliscor and then stayed in on the U-turn to Weavile. Because this Weavile Click and Crash is going to get damage on one of Soulwind's very important Steel types, or it's going to nab a kill. It's probably not going to nab a kill right away, because Soulwind can at least switch in one thing and like take a hit. Even if like Bengay goes for a knockoff on a Steel, it's not going to KO, and then Soulwind knows he can switch, so like Clefable or something of the sorts. But this Weavile is going to start putting pressure, and I think this Weavile is key to Bengay winning. It stops the Gliscor. It's the only thing that can OHKO Gliscor, so it completely stops Gliscor from Baton passing out its Sword Stance boost to Metagross. And it's the best offensive pressure that Ben's got on Soulwind's team. The other thing that could just beat Soulwind is that Suicune, because if Suicune beats Soulwind before Soulwind can beat Ben's team with Gliscor and Metagross and Magnezone and Garchomp, then he's in trouble. And Suicune generally tends to set up on Clefable, so that's something that Soulwind can't get up on the Clefable. And the good thing about Suicune is that Suicune does not like Gliscor. I do think that Soulwind can definitely win this game though if he plays this well. I do think that both sides have a decent shot at winning this. Soulwind's taking his time trying to decide how on earth he's going to deal with his Weavile, realizing that he's put himself in a tough spot. He does have bold Clefable, but Clefable can get flinched by Ice Cold Crash, and right now it's at 61, not even at full. Plus, once Clefable gets knocked off, it's a much poorer switch in, and you basically have to soft-boil and be at full, even if you're not at full, if you want to retain the switching into Weavile. We do see that the Weavile just goes for the knockoff. It's a very understandable play, because if the Clefable comes in, you remove its lefties, and if you Ice Cold Crash the Clefable on the switch-in, the Clefable is going to switch out to a Steel anyway, and then Clefable would try to recover up on something else on Bengay's team. Bengay shows the sub, there we go, and Soulwind wastes time throwing up the rocks. I really disagree with that. I disagree with that play a lot. I think it's still handleable for Soulwind, but yeah, this Suicune is gonna shit on Soulwind, because Amoonguss does not handle Suicune. Amoonguss does not handle Suicune. It's Seed Bomb! Oh my god. ABR definitely had a play in this. ABR definitely had a play in this, because ABR was talking to us about Seed Bomb Amoonguss to break Suicune's subs. He really got tired of people Suicuning him. Or maybe just tired of Suicune in general. Seed Bomb has 20 PP, okay. And Clear Smog has 22, so... yeah, Bengay realizes he's not winning this war. So he switches to a Scizor. He's probably just gonna defog, because Soulwind's not gonna go Magnezone. Soulwind really wants to, like, go aggressive beyond the head. And it also kind of depends on how fast that Magnezone is, because if he's running Magnezone and the Scizor is running speed, ooh, that would be not fun for Soulwind. But, yeah, Seed Bomb Amoonguss, there we go. Seed Bomb Amoonguss. Saving the day against Suicune. The techs have really evolved. He does go hard Magnezone on the Scizor. Okay. And he just kills it with HP Fire. Ben's gonna go into his Dug Trail, remove this Magnezone. Based on the way Ben's playing, it seems like he does have a plan to go about this, but he may not know that the Gliscor is SD pass to the Metagross. He may not know that. He does go Suicune. Uh-oh, the Gliscor does Sword Stance, and if he gets a successful Baton Pass, I mean, he doesn't want to take a Scald though, but Gliscor is going to beat the Suicune 1v1. But yeah, Gliscor generally beats Suicune 1v1. Ben, let's just go to Zapdos. Oh, he's putting himself in a tough spot because he doesn't know that this is Baton Pass Gliscor. And he's probably expecting to be able to... I don't like this Zapdos play at all. He goes Mewis, there's the Baton Pass, yup. Smogon Tour's chat exploding because they're all stupid and they don't know shit. Yeah, I really hate the Smogon Tour's chat, but I give it to you guys anyway. Is this really surprising? God. Is this really surprising? Does Mew live a +2 Meteor Mash from Metagross? Let us calc. Because this Metagross could just win. Mew... Metagross. Oh, the other thing is, you have to keep in mind the Megas. Metagross hits like base 70, so it hits 262 before Mega. So if the Mew is fast, then he'll take a Wisp, and he doesn't want to do that. It does look like, but it's probably defense for Metacham, so like 56 Impish, let's say. And in that case, it couldn't even live a +2 Meteor Mash. So yeah, I could see him going Garchomp or something. I'm not really sure if Scarf Chomp is faster. Yeah, it's not stronger. But he can definitely get the Mew out of commission. So he does just to go to Chomp. He does Outrage. He does live. He hits the Wisp. Okay. Now, one of Bengay's priorities is to heal this Mew up. Heal it up. Yeah, he wants to heal this thing up fast. I think it's a Volt Switch Mew. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like Ben's used this team before. I would be surprised if he hasn't. Now this is still a neutral outrage coming out on Ben's team, and nothing really wants to take it. Having to take that sleep powder, oh, he actually just sacks the Mew, okay. So he's given up on the Mew. Is he gonna go... I'm not really sure why he's not willing to go to Suicune. I guess because he thinks he needs Suicune for the Clefable, maybe? I don't know. Suicune does come in on the Chomp. Does Ben want to double the Weavile? I could very well see him doing a play like that, because Chomp is confused, so even if he stays in, there's a chance that it works out for him anyway. And if Soulwind doubles, not doubles, but if he switches to his Amoonguss, then things are fine for him. I could also see Soulwind literally just go Clefable, in case Ben doubles to his Weavile, and because if Ben just Scalds trying to burn the Amoonguss, then it'll eat that up, and it can just Rocks and then go back. Oh, he does actually just stay in, and tries to outrage the Suicune as the Suicune just subs. I think I would've... Yeah, I mean, I can understand sub. He does just go Clefable, really not worried about this Suicune, knows it's just gonna Scald right there, not start, like, boosting or something. Suicune Calm Minds. Someone's probably gonna lay up Rocks, and then Soft Boiled, and then go to his Amoonguss, but no, he just goes hard to Amoonguss. Suicune Scald, so it's gonna get a few Scald opportunities, and it burns the Amoonguss, and Seed Bomb is physical. Oh, I totally forgot. Seed Bomb is physical, and Suicune just won the game. Holy shit. When techs go wrong. When techs go wrong. Yeah, this... Oh my god. This is savage. This is why Sweet... Oh, it's Rest! Oh my god, the Rest. The Rest on this Amoonguss. Oh, wow. So he's... Never mind, he's legitimately got a Suicune answer. A legitimate Suicune answer. He's down to 15 Seed Bombs, though. Suicune just maxes out to full, maybe trying to predict him to... I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone for that last one. He subs on the Seed Bomb. This is a dangerous game. He's PP stalling the sub. Oh, there he got in on the Clear Smog. I think he's gonna go for Skull here. I don't think he's gonna protect. But he does just protect. Okay, he wants to get his lefties. Yeah, and the Amoonguss just go for a Seed Bomb. It's down to 9 Seed Bombs. This is... Oh, I think Suicune still wins. And it gets the burn again, so... It's gonna waste even more Seed Bombs. Yeah, this Suicune just wins. This Suicune literally wins. Oh my god, Suicune is just so good. Suicune is so good. Holy shit. He just needs to kill this Amoonguss. That's the problem. His Amoonguss won't be able to kill the Suicune now. But he needs to be able to kill the Amoonguss. Scald was doing how much? 35. Yeah. This... If he gets one crit, then he can start grabbing kills on other stuff. He needs to preserve his Calm Mind PP as much as he can. His Scald PP as much as he can. He's basically going in balls deep at this point because there's no point switching out. As the Amoonguss tries to save some PP as much as it can. Suicune's just gonna click buttons and waste Amoonguss's PP as much as it can. Suicune has 20 Calm Minds. Amoonguss has 8 plus 4, 12 attacking moves. And Amoonguss has started wasting Spores. Now let's look at Amoonguss's PP. 11 Spores, 4, that's 15, 8, 23, plus 14 rests. Okay. Now the rests basically count as 3 PP, unless the Suicune switches out and back in. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't necessarily know if removing all of this thing's attacking PP is going to be particularly helpful. You could just reduce it to a rest Amoonguss and then switch out, but I'm not really sure if that's the route he wants to take. I think maybe his best route with the Amoonguss is just to sub 3 times, but maybe not. Yeah, the Amoonguss only has 3 more Seed Bombs, so even if he subs 3 times on 3 seed bombs, he's gonna be at, what's it called? Pretty healthy. Let's see if he can waste this last seed bomb on a protect. That would be nice for him, but not necessary. Oh, and this Scarchomp goes to... The Garchomp comes out on the Suicune. And he's just wasting PP, okay. As Bengay sees that coming, he's not going to waste Scald PPs on this Amoonguss. And what he's going to... Oh, this is nice, because he needs to get no damage on this Amoonguss, because then... Okay, so this is going to be an interesting game. This is going to be interesting. Every time he Scalds the Amoonguss is going to click Rest. Every time, if he wastes all of the Amoonguss's PP and the Amoonguss doesn't take any damage, it's forced to use Rest without actually falling asleep. And then it means its PP becomes much less. It becomes 1/3 of the rest PP. And that's something that Suicune will eventually be able to beat out. If Soulwind plays the game of switching and then coming back to Amoonguss, he risks Bengay scalding on a switch. But if he doesn't scald on a switch, then he can switch back to Amoonguss, and he's wasted 2 PP of Suicune's successfully. So it's a tricky game. It's a tricky game. Ben goes for the Protect on the Clear Smog. He's gonna Calm Mind on the last Seed Bomb. Okay. And does he Scald? Does he Scald? Scald is risky, but it could pay off big. And at the same time, Soulwind switching is risky, but it could pay off. Oh, it's tricky. I think Bengay knows what he's clicking. Either the aggressive Scald or the safe Substitute. A Scald right here would be really, really nice for Ben, but I think he's just gonna sub, because he knows that he'll keep up the sub. Yeah, I feel like Ben's just gonna click sub, because that sub is gonna be very, very tough to... Oh, he switches to Chomp. Does he Scald? He does his Scald. Okay, nice. So, Ben, he disconnects and reconnects. Clefable comes in. Not really sure. I guess he just wants to waste some more PP. Yeah, Ben's not gonna Scald that Amoonguss. That's a little too obvious. Now he's gonna continue with the PP stalling. As the Amoonguss starts wasting Rests. Ooh. Not even wasting Clear Smogs or Spores. And the Ben goes for the Scald on the Amoonguss Sporing, which means that the Amoonguss is now going to get a rest and get to waste 2 extra PP. Okay, we need to do a PP count. 7, 21, 31, 50. 50 PP on the Suicune. Amoonguss. Maximum PP, 7 plus 7, 14. As low as 27. As high as 14 plus 39 is like 67, 57. 57. So let's just look at the PP count again. 12 plus 36 plus 14, yeah, 50, wait, oh, he's at 50 PP. 7 plus 7, 7 plus 7 plus 12, times 3. 12 times 3, 36, plus 7 plus 7 is 14, that's 50 PP. Okay, so Amoonguss is at 50 PP, the Suicune's at... Oh, he subs on the Clefable, so the Amoonguss is going to come back in, he's going to waste even more PP. Yeah, so I don't think the Suicune's going to be able to stall the Amoonguss out of PP, he's just going to have to catch Soulwind on the switches. Five, 12, 9, 19, 5, 17, 26, 45. He scolds, he crits the Amoonguss wakes up and goes straight for a rest. Oh. These Scalds he's throwing out. He switches to Weavile. Okay. His plan has changed. And he's gonna try to grab a kill with this Weavile. He needs to be careful about that Metagross though. He does just Ice Crash the Clefable, which means Metagross is probably gonna come in. I think if I were Soulwind, I would save the Clefable and go Metagross. Now that this Clefable is weakened though, knockoff is very clickable for Ben. And if he knocks off that Amoonguss, then the Suicune back to +6 could just win the game. Soulwind considering. I mean, what does he lose from switching to Metagross? I feel like this game is still definitely... How many sleep turns has the Zapdos burned? Let me find. Zapdos is fast. Nope, he hasn't burned any sleep turns. And Soulwind might be able to recover his Clefable on the Zapdos if the Zapdos doesn't get a two-turn wake. Let's go Metagross, so he lets the Metagross take that Ice Crash chip. That is some solid chip. How much does EQ from Dugtrio do to Metagross? Dugtrio versus Mega Metagross. Well, first of all, let's just make sure Bullet Punch doesn't kill. Bullet Punch does indeed not kill. Earthquake is doing 63 to 75. So that's damage he can afford at this point. Zapdos does come in on the Metagross. Metagross does indeed Mega Evolve and go for a Bullet Punch. Yeah, Bullet Punch is the safest play because if the Weavile stays in the ice... Yeah, because the Zapdos walls the Gliscor. And SD Pass to anything that's not Metagross is useless for him, so... He's just gonna go for the Bullet Punch, Sorry, Bullet Punch, Ice Punch to remove the Zapdos. Suicune's gonna come in, not the Dugtrio quite yet. And SD Gliscor could still be annoying. I'm surprised he didn't go, Dugtrio. Yeah, I am kinda surprised he didn't go Dugtrio. I don't know though. I feel like Dugtrio was kind of fine. Get that EQ damage off, and then Ice Shard. Because Clefable surely has to be an Ice Shard range. Amoonguss... Maybe he wants to get Amoonguss asleep again. But didn't he already get Amoonguss on one sleep turn? Ugh. This Suicune has 5 subs and 12 Calm Minds. I mean, he surely can't leave in Metagross. I'd expect him to just go Amoonguss. Yeah, I don't know. Because the Metagross, presumably, the next time it comes in is going to be on the Weavile. And I'm not really sure how Ben makes progress without the Weavile. He does bring in the Gliscor on the Suicune. And, yeah, if he SD passes to Metagross on a non-burn, oh, things get dangerous then. Things get dangerous. Oh, an SD pass? No, the Amoonguss has lost all its Seed Bomb PP. Yeah, I don't know, Ben might be going for the pass to the Metagross. I think once he Calm Minds, I mean, after 2 Toxic Heals, the Gliscor is basically at full. So he basically needs +1 Scald to a KO Gliscor based on just damage without recovery. So yeah, Calm Mind is definitely his play. Gliscor just roosts. I'm not really sure what that accomplished. Oh, the Suicune is faster. I think Soulwind just threw away a chance to win. If he SD'd with Gliscor, Baton Pass to Metagross, he's slower. SD'd with Gliscor, Baton Pass to Metagross, he's slower. Does +2 Thunder Punch take out Vankun? Suicune versus Thunder Punch. Oh god, yeah. That Metagross could have just won. Maybe he was worried about Scald 3-hit KOing. It's doing 42-30 with recovery. No, it wouldn't have. Yeah, I think if he just Swords Danced, he won. Because the Suicune's faster. I mean, I guess what Ben has to do in that case is he has to substitute on the Baton Pass, and then he has to burn the Metagross. That's the only play. But at least Soulwind gives himself a 70% chance to win the game in that sequence. Could bring us in Clefable on another Calm Mind. Gonna go back to Amoonguss, wasting all its PP. Suicune's gonna throw up the sub. It's gonna continue the PP stalling. Except it's also getting stalled at a PP. If Soulwind had another Mon that completely stops Suicune, like his own Suicune or something of the sorts, then this thing gets hard stopped. Completely stopped. Does he Scald? No, he just Calm Minds. Soulwind's cheeky, he soft-boiled here, but I don't think anyone does that. We could see it though. He has 17 Scalds. He might just go to crit the Amoonguss. Yeah, he does just Scald. That's doing 27. Holy moly. That is nothing. Does a crit plus 2 regulars even kill Amoonguss? Protects on the clear Smog. Not sure why it didn't click rest, but maybe he wants to get Weavile in on the rest. And Soulwind is being careful not to let that happen. In that case, what Ben might do is he might try to Scald burn the Amoonguss and try to push the Amoonguss to rest. Man, this is a tricky game. Very close. If Ben it's really hard to catch someone on the turns they switch. Because it's just not an easily catchable thing. Soulwind trying to catch some sort of switch. Suicune's just gonna Scald to try to burn this Amoonguss. Because the Amoonguss spores, he has to rest. There's no way. No human. He spores on the Weavile, that's really big. If Ben gets his Weavile in on the Amoonguss, that's also big. Kind of big, honestly, but not that big. He does protect on the rest. And yeah, I mean, at this point in the game, you don't click Spore. He's just gonna go for the crit. He's content. Plus, he knows that this gives him more chances to go to Weavile on a rest. If he crits this, he has 13 Scalds. He has good chances to crit at least one. And every time he gets one crit, he gets a kill. He needs a 1 of 3. But any 1 in 12 nabs him a kill. Scald, no crits. Scald, no crit. Scald, no crit. And he rests. Huh. Nine Scalds. He's going for it. Scald, no crit. Scald, no crit. And he's just wasting all his Scalds. I think he has to... I don't think this is the right sequence. Fishing for crits. Because he can definitely win with Weavile. And the Amoongus... Huh. Versus 19. I mean, technically he can force this Amoongus to switch out. Actually, depends. Amoongus has 11 non-attacking PP. Ben has 16 non-attacking PP. So again, at least 4. Does he Scald? He Scalds on the Clef switch in. It's okay. So he kills the Clef. Amoongus comes back in. Gets that Regenerator. And the Amoongus can rest. He does go to Weavile right here. Does the Amoongus just rest? Oh, the Amoongus does rest. Okay. So the Weavile is in. I'm not sure why Soulwind let that extra sack go, but... maybe he was getting worried about the crits. Because the crit would just win the game if he has enough Scalds left. Now he doesn't have the Clefable sack. He's got to sack Amoongus or Gliscor. There's no other play. Yeah, that Clef sack's gonna hurt him. Because now he's got to lose Amoongus or Gliscor. I presume he needs the Amoongus. I mean, the Suicune doesn't have much PP left. No, he has to... I think he has to sack Gliscor, because if he sacks Amoongus and the Metagross comes in, Suicune comes in on the Metagross, dies, then Dugtrio comes in, EQs the Metagross, and then Weavile is just gonna kill the Gliscor with kill the Metagross and the Gliscor with Ice Shard. So even if Soulwind takes out the Suicune without taking damage on his Metagross from the Scald, he's gonna get EQ'd by the Dougie. Somehow just spamming Scald worked out for Ben. He scared Soulwind into sacking his Clefable. Now Soulwind's in a tough spot. If he sacks Amoongus, Metagross comes in, Suicune comes in. Even a Meteor Mash boost. He'd need a Meteor Mash boost then. Or a Bullet Punch crit on Dugtrio. But if he sacks... yeah, so he can't sack Amoongus. If he sacks Gliscor, then I don't know. I don't know what happens if he sacks Gliscor. It's tricky, because if he gets... it depends. It really does depend. It could come down to a prediction. Because Thunder Punch, I think, is the only thing that'll 2 KO the Suicune. If Dugtrio comes in on a Thunder Punch, he's going to get to keep the Suicune, which means he's going to stall out the Amoongus' PP with the Suicune, and win with Weavile. Plus, this Amoongus is sleeping 2 turns. I'm pretty sure Ice Shard will take this out on the switch before the Amoongus can wake up and do anything. Actually, it kind of depends. Does Weavile Ice Shard? How much does it do? I think Ben might have won, but we'll see. Amoongus, Ice Shard, Choice Band. Oh wow, that's doing a lot. Yeah, I think Ben's won. I think Ben's won. Oh, he goes to Metagross, so he's going for the Mash Boost. Or the Crash misses. What's the worst of playing games like these? Watching cheaters. Yosh's it out. Oh my god. He goes hard Dugtrio. What the hell is he doing? I don't understand that play at all. What is he trying to do with that play? Why did he sack Dugtrio? I thought he wants Dugtrio to kill the Metagross. He goes Suicune. Soulwind can't afford to kill the Suicune. I don't understand that play at all. I thought he could just sack Suicune, go Dugtrio, because Dugtrio lives a Bullet Punch. Man, I don't understand these guys. Does Ben click knockoff? How much does it do to go score? Actually, I don't think he can. Because the Metagross. He can SD pass. Choice band. Yeah, that's not gonna do a KO. He can't click knockoff. So he's gotta crash. Crashes. Metagross comes in. Suicune comes in, and if it's just like... yeah, it's just EQs. I think Ben's play is to protect right here. Soulwind's play is definitely to switch though, but I think Ben needs the recovery. He has 6 Calm Minds. He can waste 3 Scalds, forcing the Amoonguss to rest. Okay, yeah, so if I were Ben, I would protect. Then if he goes Amoonguss, I would sub, I would Calm Mind all the way up, get my Suicune as healthy as possible, then Scald to force the Amoonguss to rest, bring Weavile in on the Amoonguss, click knockoff. Depending on when you... it depends on when you get the because a knockoff doesn't do KOs. Oh, he disconnects. I mean, he has that 240 seconds. Oh, reconnect. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think Ben's play is to protect. Protect saves that one Scald in case it matters. Protect gives him the recovery. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I think Ben should do. I think he should... yeah, I think I said this, but... protect if the Metagross switches, sub, get Suicune as healthy as you can by Calm, and just use up all those remaining Calm Minds on the Amoonguss and waste those turns to get Suicune healthy. Man, this is a really tough series. I mean, Ben also could Scald. I'm assuming a Scald to a KO's Metagross. He does just switch to Amoonguss, as the Suicune does protect, yes. And now, hopefully, he's just gonna sub. I think I could very well see Soulwind. He might Scald. I could see him doing that. Catches the Metagross if it wants to switch in on Suicune using sub, or switch to Weavile. But at this point, I don't see Ben switching to Weavile. It's just not the play. I mean, if he does go Weavile, is it a 50-50? I think not. Yeah, he does just sub. And the Soulwind burns a sleep turn. I don't know if that's the first sleep turn or the second sleep turn. We'll see. It was the first sleep turn. Soulwind's gonna get his recovery. I still don't understand why he didn't go for Suicune and why he sacked the Dugtrio. Amoonguss is gonna burn its clear smog PP. Now if Amoonguss loses all of its... Can Weaviles knock off 3-hit KO Amoonguss if the Amoonguss does not have so, Amoonguss, no item. Yeah, that's gonna 3-hit KO. Okay, I mean that becomes important in the odd case that like Metagross dies and Amoonguss was out of attack and PP. He burns the Amoonguss. He's gonna click Calm Mind. He's wasting Scalds. That was one Scald too much, I think. He's not gonna go to Metagross. I don't really understand why he wasted those Scalds. Let's Suicune, sorry. Scald 2 KOs, but if he has to spend 3 Scalds, no, I guess that's enough for Scalds. He goes to Weavile, and he catches it on the rest. Okay. Okay. Now he clicks Knockoff. Yeah, he clicks Knockoff, he sacks the Weavile. And Suicune, yeah, I think Benga's won. I think Benga's won. Yeah. If Metagross was Thunder Punch, then this would have been different. Why go from 70-30 to 50-50? What are they talking about? Yeah, I think the only way Soulwind wins in the sequence is like critical hit on the Suicune or something of the sorts. Or if he's been masterfully hiding the fact that he has Bullet Punch for some insane reason. But sorry about that, guys. The Weavile does go for a knockoff on the Amoonguss, does a clean 70. That is a very specially defensive Amoonguss. Takes out the Amoonguss. Metagross comes in, Bullet Punches to take out the Weavile. Suicune comes in, gonna click Protect right here, no reason not to. I think. Oh, he has 4 Scalds. Okay, he managed to. I guess the burns made him manage to get the Amoonguss to rest without risking it, and he just EQs. So yeah, probably not like bluffed Thunder Punch. EQs, Scald, gets the burn, and that's the game. That's the game. That's the game, folks. I think Soulwind should have taken his opportunity to win with Metagross. I mean, he wasn't Thunder Punch, so he would have had to risk 2 Scalds. So I guess that's why. I think not running Thunder Punch. I mean, I understand why you want Earthquake, you want to hit the Heatran, you don't want to be, and you already have Magnezone for the Skarmory if it's not Shed Shell, but Thunder Punch is also just really nice to hit the Slowbro and stuff like that. I don't know, it would have been really nice for him in this game. Maybe he was thinking that this Seed Bomb Rest Amoonguss would be enough, but clearly Vincoon is quite strong. Yeah, this Vincoon, man. Vincoon is really strong. Another set that I've been playing around with and I've liked is Sub Rest. That's what I brought versus Soulwind in my S-Tour game, and that's a really interesting twist on Vincoon. It doesn't play the same as Vincoon. It kind of plays more like a normal Restcoon, but with Substitute. And what Substitute allows you to do, it allows you to avoid risking crits, meaning you can beat stuff like Clefable much more solidly. It gives you that buffer when you use Rest, so that when you use Rest, if the opponent wants to try to take advantage of the 2 turns you're asleep, you have that sub as a buffer. It allows you to purposefully damage yourself so that you can rest up and waste PP. It allows you to block stuff like burned Dragon Tail or clear Smog and stuff like that as well. So it's a really interesting option. Um, yeah, but Subcoon, man, it's strong. Anyway, that was the series. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.